All right, I'm back home, married now, and fixing the truck again. So there's a Detroit axle and there's CV front axle for this truck, and I have to put it in because it starts to click when you're turning, and unlike just avoiding it and hoping that it doesn't get any worse, I'm just gonna try and fix it. So first things first, I gotta get the belly pan off, or tray, whatever you call it. Got that off. I gotta get it jacked up. Probably put a jack right there, and then take the wheel off. They say you gotta take at least the strut out. If I can get the strut out, then I'll be fine. I just really don't want to do that. Well, let's see. Let's get her up in the air. Okay, here's what we're working with. I gotta get this nut off. It's like a 35 millimeter or something. And basically, obviously we gotta get the CV axle out. I was kind of trying to look to see if I could snake it out. I might, if I can get it out, get this loose and get it out, I might be able to maybe somehow snake it through and not have to take the strut out. If I can't do that, I'll take the strut out, and that's just how it's gonna be. Yeah. And of course, to do this, I got the best tools. Ego Fix. Never heard of it. Got it off Amazon. Showed up the next day, so you know it's good. Okay. It was actually a 36, so I don't know if this has been replaced before or what. Oh, a little trick that I saw from a video. Stick a punch through the brake caliper and through one of the rotor slots, and it stops it from spinning. I don't think you need that for this part, but when you're taking the however many bolts there are on the transfer case, differential side, that's when you need it. This CV axle through without having to take anything out. But I'm gonna try, because you might as well just waste the time you got. It's Memorial Day weekend, so what else would a guy want to be doing? It's not like I have a shifter that needs to be installed on my S10. I hit her with the dead blow. Yeah, she's good. Okay, now I gotta get those bolts off over there. I'm not that lucky. I got it all loose. I gotta pull the strut now, and then we'll take that out, put the new one in, put the strut back in, bolt it all down, good to go. Well, that is just not ideal.
What's going on?
All right, I got new bolts, new nuts, new washers. I gotta get that bolt out, but I've got to get the top three out first, the top three nuts. That way when I take that one out, I can pry it out towards the center of the truck, get it put on there, get it out of the way, put the new CV axle in, and we'll reverse from there. Okay, got it out. It escalated badly, but it is out, so that's a plus. Let's get the new one in, I guess. I gotta clean that up. All right, let's clean this up. All right, got that cleaned out in here. Put a little bit of grease on there just so it slides in better. I'm gonna get this fed in, get it kind of positioned up there, and then I'm gonna try to put that freaking strut back in. Also, Detroit axle, most of your guys' parts are on this truck now. Come on, hook me up with something. Okay, we're in. I guess I can put this on. Should I? Yeah, we'll get it started, see if there's a issue. I don't think I regret putting this on right now, or at least getting it started. All right, I've got the top nuts snugged up on the strut. Got a good gap there, which is good because I gotta put the leveling block in there. And then, once I get that in, we can put the upper tie rod back on. Upper tie rod, I'm so stupid. Upper ball joint, we can tighten that back up. That way we can get these zip ties all undone, and then we'll start tightening everything up and then take a test drive. That right there is a win, boys. That's a win. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, I've got the upper ball joint started. I'm gonna leave the CV axle for last. I've got the bottom bolts and nut tight on the strut. I gotta tighten up, make sure that the top ones are snug. And I gotta put this bracket back on, put the ABS sensor back on, tie rod's fine. Yeah, we'll be done here probably 45 minutes. And I'm counting cleaning and everything. All right, everything's tightened down, up top, down below. Put some brake caliper paint on the brake calipers. What else did I do? That's it. Yeah, everything's torqued, ready to rock. That big old nut's torqued there. I just gotta put the wheel on and take it for a test drive. But while I'm here, I've worked on this thing like 3 times and I haven't fixed the parts where it's rusty. So trying to, you know, make it look a little prettier. It was the other side. Yeah. Cool. I guess we get to do it again. Well, thankfully we still have the rental from the honeymoon, so I've got the new CV axle there. That was $175 compared to Detroit axles. Would have liked to order both of them from Detroit Axle, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna get the vehicles moved around, get tearing down the truck again, but the other side this time. All right. Nice thing about doing this once last night is you remember most of the tools you know you're gonna need. So we're gonna start taking this apart. All right, got the strut out of this side, and then I might throw some paint right there. Might as well. I'm here. And then get the old CV axle out, put the new one in, and put everything back together. All right, now I'm trying to fit the leveling block back up in there. That's the worst part of this entire job. Easily can say that without a doubt, worst part of the job. But yeah, we'll try to get that mounted. Do I have this backwards? No, that's right. All right, struts in, everything's kind of sitting there. So now we just got to start with getting the strut in place, get the bolts in, so that's locked in, tighten all that down, get the upper control arm tightened back down, and then make sure that stuff, the suspension parts are tight, and then tighten down the new CV axle, get the big nut tight, and we're good to go. Oh, before I put this on, almost forgot. She's all torqued down. We're ready to take her out and test. Well, it's fixed, finally. So that was the problem, was the passenger side and not the driver's side. But if you got to fix one of them, the chances are the other one's probably going out too. So yeah, that was not exactly the most fun thing I've ever done, but it wasn't that bad either. So got it done. Took me a couple days, but this is what it is. On to the next. Maybe I can finally work on my S10 now.